YouTube can feel like a pretty negative place sometimes, especially in the commentary and news genres, like mine. But there's actually a really good reason for it. It's because most movies, shows, and video games in the last 5 years or so have been terrible. There you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, there's actually more to it than that. Counterintuitively, negativity isn't inherently bad. Sometimes it can be quite good. I've got some reasons why it all seems so negative, whose fault it is, and some data to back it up. Something that would be positive, however, is if you hit that like button for me. Oh, you're killing it, Greg. Okay, I'm back in the cup this week, still working through a sampler from Brooklyn Bean Roastery. Got the corner donut shop this week. I like breakfast tea and I like breakfast coffee, so that's right up my alley. First up, you are not imagining it. Commentary YouTube is a highly negative space. Let's examine this channel, Critical Drinker. Right now, this guy just hit 2 million subscribers, and he's been around for a bit. So, he's got a real groove worked out, he's consistent, and his view counts are consistent. That's why I'm using him. It makes the data points more reliable. If we look through the last year, we see a clear difference between positive and negative videos on his channel. Negative videos get at least 50% more views than positive ones. If a video is titled The Drinker Recommends, or has a title that is ambivalent, like this one about the movie Gran Turismo, or this one about The Killer, they are almost guaranteed to not break 1 million views. There are exceptions, but usually they revolve around a negative, rebellious attitude. Like this video about Godzilla Minus One. When this movie came out, there was a lot of talk about it being good. And also take that, woke Hollywood! This is how you really make a movie! Or this one about how One Piece is good, especially compared to Cowboy Bebop, Netflix!
Suck it, Mr. Krabs.
What I think is interesting is that these negative titles are not extremely clickbaity or hyperbolic. You can clearly discern which videos are positive and which are negative, but the negative videos are not using the most extreme language you've ever seen. This one is disappointing. This one is a mess. This one is not what I hoped for. The pattern is clear, and there's money involved, which makes we, the video makers, lean into what works. Drinker's videos are often pretty short, and ads will not appear in the middle of a video that is less than 8 minutes long. So, for a good number of his videos, he's only getting the upfront ad and maybe one at the end. But ads tend to be more valuable for current movies. I can't predict exactly what he's making, but for the ease of our calculations, let's just assume he's making $5 for every 1,000 views. What that means is that a positive review of a show, which might get 800,000 to 900,000 views, if that much, is paying $4,000 to $4,500.
Good Lord! That's a lot of money!
But a negative video is going to get at least 50% more than that, oftentimes double. So when this guy makes a video about something and labels it as a recommendation, he knows going in it's effectively costing him a few $1,000. So given the choice between digging up gems to report on and dunking on whatever garbage Disney is putting out, I think it's pretty clear why he would choose the latter 90% of the time. But it's not entirely about the money. I don't want to imply that this is like some kind of grift, because I don't think that it is. When you look at view counts, that's just a representation of what your audience wants, and they click on the negative videos. As a video maker, it's not my job to decide what you like. It's my job to give you what you want, and try to predict what you'll want next. The money is a secondary goal to having a healthy channel, and you do that by serving your audience what they like. The opponents to channels like this are very insulting toward the audience. They seek to take agency away from you. I chuckle at this video from second thought here, wondering why there are so many right-wing conservative grifters. I don't know, is it possible they aren't grifting at all, but catering to a large conservative audience? The data is clear. We like to watch negative stuff, but that's not always a bad thing. Let's look at why. The internet has made us all more cynical and untrusting. Almost everything is an ad in some way, shape, or form. TikTok and Instagram especially are just a nightmare hellscape of product placements and sponsored videos. Even I do them, but I like to work with companies that I actually buy things from with my own money. Like FlexiSpot. You need to stop working or gaming in whatever random chair you have lying around. Trust me, your butt and your back will thank you for it. I've talked to you before about FlexiSpot chairs and desks because I was their customer before I was even on YouTube. I feel pretty comfortable calling FlexiSpot a full friend of the channel at this point, maybe even More than friends? They're not calling me that in public yet, but I think we're getting there. Last time I told you how comfortable this chair was, the C7 model, and I extolled the virtues of its lumbar support especially. Even when you're reclined, this thing comes up to meet you. But perhaps you noticed that this chair was a new addition to my office, and you're wondering, how does it hold up? Well, I've been using it every day for months now, and I can confirm its continued excellence. This model also has a footrest option, and trust me, you're gonna want the footrest. When you're playing a relaxing game, it's nice to be in a relaxing position. It's so comfy, I can and have taken naps in it. It's also Atlas approved, but he did not approve of me filming him. Sorry, buddy. FlexiSpot is having their brand day sale now, up to 60% off. It is the best time to get your favorite chair or desk. Use the exclusive code BDC7, purchase the C7 model now, and enjoy a $30 discount. I like to keep my partnerships to a limit and in the open. Unfortunately, there are some people that don't. And now we've all kind of grown wary of praise of a product because we wonder, what kind of behind-the-scenes payments have happened? Just last month, I did a video on the Sweet Baby Inc. news that is happening, and part of that news is the ongoing distrust of gaming journalists by gamers, because it has been proven many times that gaming access media has deals with game developers to either get early access or straight up payments, usually in the form of lucrative ad contracts. Last year, I did a video on the atrocious TV adaptation of The Wheel of Time on Amazon. In it, I pointed out the very strange praise that it was getting from large book review channel Daniel Green. This guy is pretty famous for loving these books, and many, including myself, were very surprised at his mild criticism or outright praise of the show, since it deviates wildly from the books. Many commentators on my video said it's because he's in Amazon's pocket, because he publishes books with them. Admittedly, I kind of buy this explanation. I'm just as much of a cynic as the rest of you.
Your heart is as black as mine.
But it's happened to me as well. When I reviewed one of Brandon Sanderson's secret project books last year, I've got them on my shelf here, I had a segment about Audible versus other services because Sanderson refused to release those books on Audible. I said I tried the competitors, Speechify and Spotify, and honestly, they were terrible. One person accused me of being paid by Amazon. I had 20,000 subscribers at that time. I had someone wonder in a comment if I was being paid by Warner Brothers for a positive review of Dune 2. I don't even know how to get early tickets for early reviews. We're all gun shy about believing positive reviews or negative reviews that seem to be propping up a competitor, no matter the size or unimportance of the reviewer. So negativity is more believable. However, there is also a credibility concern beyond shady brand deals. A positive review carries more weight than a negative review, for me, the reviewer, because if I tell you a movie or show or product is good, I'm basically suggesting that you spend your money or time on it, so I gotta be right. But I don't want to risk the chance that many of you won't agree, so it's tough to find a product that fits the criteria and is safe to recommend so that I'm not leading too many people astray. We tend to give more leeway to negatives than positives. Like if I say a thing is a dumpster fire and you end up liking it, you're more likely to think, maybe we just had a difference of opinion. But if I say it's good and you spend money on it and you hate it, now you're partly upset that I enticed you to waste your resources on it.
Well, how could you? I thought you were my friend. I trusted you.
That's why you seem to see a ton of positive reviews for certain products all at once. And you think, that seems a little fishy. Why did everyone praise Dune 2 or the One Piece live action on Netflix? Well, because they were so good, it was easy to do. Those two things are so well done, I can recommend them with ease. And I don't have to worry that a large number of you are going to question my judgment if you see it and don't love it. Believe it or not, reviewers and commentators enjoy recommending things, but it has to be so good that I can give it an unequivocal recommendation. The other thing to consider is that I'm an entertainer too. I'm talking about entertainment, but I have to do so in a fun way. Like, do you want to watch a video where I'm like, yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but not horrible. It was a movie that exists and you can watch it. That would be no fun. It's much easier to be entertaining when you're dunking on a bad product, which makes my video better for you. Something I never see critics of critics consider is that the commentary industry is its own entertainment industry. While I would never claim to be creating something on the level of a movie director or an author, I do write these scripts out. I do have to research to back my opinions. And I do have to structure the edits so that they're fun for you. But there is another reason positive reviews don't get made, and that's because we tend to click on and watch them less. But it's not always because they aren't good. This one's tricky. So if you're interested in a movie coming out, like Dune 2, and I and others make videos that are titled, "This movie was amazing!" and you were already kind of on the fence, well, those titles alone might be enough for you. Now the decision is made, you want to go see the movie, but you don't want to watch me talk about it because you want to avoid spoilers, and you don't want your experience colored by my perspective. You want to see it fresh, which is understandable. When something looks good, you're more likely to spend your time actually watching the thing instead of watching me talk about the thing. But confusion happens because it looks bad here on my dashboard where YouTube gives me these little gray circles and tells me what a horrible disappointment I am for making a terrible video that no one wants to watch, and so they aren't going to bother showing it to anyone, and I should be ashamed of myself.
Make a note of this. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
It doesn't actually say all of that, but it feels that way. That's why it's easier to make positive videos about old things. It's not nostalgia bait. It's simply easier to talk about and watch because you already know if you like this thing from 20 years ago, or at the very least, you aren't concerned with spoilers, so you're more likely to watch an analysis. This is closely tied with why you are likely to watch negative videos, though, because you probably weren't going to watch the movie in question. This is a funny complaint I see. Sometimes people think reviewers have this amazing influence on products, and we are ruining these studios by making negative videos. But the truth is that if you watch me crap on a movie, it's probably because you weren't going to see it anyway. Take the recent Madame Web. You knew it was going to be bad. We all did.
You know it, and I know it, and the American people know it.
So you were never going to go to the theater, but you're still curious about how hilariously awful it will be. That is where this secondary entertainment market comes in. You can come hang out with me and the other folks in the comment section, and we can all have a fun time laughing about a movie none of us had planned to watch anyway. There is a real hubris in assuming that we should just watch and like everything, and we're the bad guys if we don't. Some movies suck, and it's fine to say that. There is also a weird hubris amongst filmmakers and authors in that they think they own the whole audience. When negative videos get more traction than the product itself, they think we little YouTube critics have ruined them. What they don't see is that my audience is not the same as their audience. There might be a little overlap, but like I said, commentary YouTube is its own type of entertainment. You watch me and you watch movies for totally different reasons. And when people complain about negative YouTube critics, they are really signaling that they believe the audience belongs to one group of people.
Your soul is mine.
The last thing I want to talk about is that sometimes we like to watch negative videos because there are some terrible products in the world and we like to commiserate about them. There is such a thing as toxic positivity, and I get weird complaints about how I'm a negativity grifter, and it's like, did you watch that movie? It was horrific! And if a thing is bad, it's valid to say it was bad. Stuckman can try to slap kittens and rainbows on everything, but sometimes an entertainment product sucks, and it's simply being honest to say it sucks. Anna, what do we want to have?
I want to have a kiki.
Exactly! There is a certain amount of catharsis to a negative video. Like, okay, I'm not crazy. Other people see that the Emperor is indeed naked. I made this lengthy video about how Amazon's Wheel of Time completely misses the themes and characters from the books. At the end of the video, I'll plug it. That show is an abomination. It's awful. A complete whiff on every level. And I got many comments saying that the video was cathartic to hear an argument why the show is such a nuclear waste dump, using themes from the books as comparison instead of simply saying the show is a pile of flaming wreckage. The reason people want to watch a video like that, or they want to watch me or other commentators crap on the MCU, for example, is precisely because they are so passionate about those products that when they are bad, it's not possible to feel neutral about them. Passion has to go somewhere, and it will take one of two directions. And it always makes me laugh when people think, why do you care, is some kind of burn, when it's really a self-snitch. Those people are admitting that they do not care. But here they are, clicking on a video that was openly advertising how the creator didn't like the product. Which one of us is the dumb one?
Who's a loser, me or you?
After Endgame, Disney made a very conscious effort to turn the entire franchise sharply, and many fans did not like the result. Some outlets will tell them to just pipe down and enjoy the sewage that they're being fed, which, for some weird reason, doesn't make them want to do that. Other outlets, like me, say, you're not crazy. This new content sucks like a collapsing star. In a wild twist, fans of the franchise, formerly known as the MCU, want to watch videos that commiserate with them about the drop in quality of a franchise they really enjoyed and devoted resources to.
Crazy.
There's the data, and the reasons that we as an audience tend to like negative commentary. So YouTube can feel a little negative, but you have good reason, and there's nothing wrong with your viewing choices. If you ever feel that your socials are getting a bit too negative, however, I want you to remember that algorithm is just a fancy word for audience preference. So it will feed you what you tell it you like. So be sure to search up some cool inventor videos like Stuff Made Here, I love that guy, or Nerdforge is really fun, or more positive media analytic channels like Schnee. You have agency here.
The power is yours.
If you're interested in that character comparison between the Wheel of Time books and Amazon's Wraith of Prime, check it out right here, and hopefully it will encourage you to undertake an excellent book series. What do you think I missed? Why do you think YouTube commentary feels so negative? Why do we like watching those kinds of videos? Let me know in the comments. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.